Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. This is Robert Ferguson. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for giving myself and my guests an opportunity to have a conversation with you. You can just listen in if you want, where we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about this fitness paradox, something that every person in the fitness industry would benefit from knowing. Everyone who's a fitness advocate would benefit from knowing. Anyone who works out and you care about what you look like on the outside would benefit from knowing. And here's what's ironic. Most people don't know what we're going to talk about. And these are fitness leaders. And this is not a dig. This is not a negative. I'm just telling you the truth. I've been in this industry for well over 30 years. Fitness, nutrition, health, helping people, coaching people. And I know 1,000% that what I'm saying right now is the truth. So we're going to talk to someone who is a fitness pioneer, someone who's been teaching fitness for years, someone who's also a nutritionist, someone who coaches people, who has a humble spirit and is going to talk about her own experience because she didn't know something and then it came to light and she doesn't keep it a secret. See, I love people like that are humble, who are willing to say, hey, I didn't know. I mean, that's me. So it's great to know people who live in that same spirit of wanting to help other people, wanting to pay it forward, and are willing to raise their hand and say, I didn't know that. And if I didn't know it, and I've been teaching fitness for years, that means a whole bunch of people don't know it. So we're going to have that conversation. And then as time permits, we're going to talk a little bit about the new pyramid that came out. Now, I am putting together a solid deep dive on the food pyramid, things that hasn't been talked about, but is inside of the pyramid. What are the pros and the cons of it? But again, we're going to talk about it today. And some of what I'm going to be going into a deeper dive with may come out in this conversation. And if you have questions, please post your questions in the comments. And as you'll have access to me through the links that we've provided, you'll have access to my guests. If you want to reach out to her for coaching, to learn more, got more questions, we both are available to be of service to those of you who feel we may be able to help you out. Now, all of that being said, before I bring on my guests, I want to invite you to like, subscribe. If you have not come over to the YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to do that. Last 30 days, we've had some of our biggest growth. So we're actually growing. And I have to thank those of you who have taken the time to like, to subscribe, to share. I appreciate you because, I mean, it may not be hundreds of thousands of us yet, but your like and your comment, your being present, your being willing to share is helping us reach more people. Okay. So without further delay, let me bring on my guest, the one, the only, Miss Amy Prine. What's up, Amy?
Hey, Robert, how are you?
I am good. I'm having a cup of tea right now as we have some tea time.
Tea time. I love that. Tea time.
Mm-hmm. And
well, I'll say I'm having tea with you, even though mine is water.
All right. Well, hey, we don't know what's in that. Could be vodka in that or a little Jack Daniels.
Yeah, there could be. That's a great idea.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly.
Well, I kind of set it up, Amy. And for those who don't know, you kind of give a quick introduction of yourself to those who are meeting you for the first time. Kind of like what you do, who you are, and then we'll dive into our conversation.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. My name is Amy Prine. I'm a nutrition and fitness coach, and I have been with Robert for 17 years. I'm also a personal trainer, nutritionist, and working in the field, like I said, for nutrition, 17 years, the fitness world, longer than that. And I'm just really anxious to help people. I've been helping people for that period of time, Robert being my mentor. So I feel very honored to be part of this. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And tell everybody where you live there, Amy. Let them know about the beautiful one and only place on earth called Darlington, Wisconsin.
You just said it. The one and only Darlington, Wisconsin.
With a
You've been here now how many
population,
times? Four times you've been here?
you know what? I don't know. I lost count. But what's the population there?
About 2,300.
Under 3,000.
Yes.
I mean, that's impressive. Now you guys are growing, aren't you?
Not real fast.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's good to have been there, and it's a beautiful place to go. So those of you who live in Wisconsin or around the state of Wisconsin, it'd be a good getaway. They have really nice bed and breakfast, beautiful town, fun, loving people, and they've had an influx of some amazing Mexican food.
Yes.
I mean,
I was just there yesterday, Robert.
I mean, who would have thought that I would actually get on the plane, go to Darlington, Wisconsin for Mexican food?
Right?
Okay. Anyway.
It's very good.
All right. Well, anyway, before we get started, big shout out to Lori, who's catching us live on YouTube. Sandy Silver. Sandy says, hi, Amy.
Hi, Sandy. Hi, Lori.
All right. Good people. Fun
Yes.
people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about how hard you work out. And I want to go there because we're going to share something that most people in the fitness industry have no clue about. But before we do that, I want people to know that you're not someone who works out every once in a while. Like give us an example of your extremes, like as far as like what kind of workouts you do, how long you've been working out. And when I say what kind of workouts you do, is it just cardio? Do you ever do weights? Do you only do weights? Do you do cardio? Like give us an idea of your fitness lifestyle.
Okay. So currently it is not what it has been in the past. I have been in the fitness world right around 30 years. I've been working out. I started out as an avid walker, and then that changed into running, and that's all I did was running. And then I just loved the fitness world. I loved how I felt. That was the most important thing, and how I felt. And then I started seeing changes in my body, and I love that even more. Then I got my personal trainers and working at a local gym, and I was teaching like 2 to 3 classes per day. Plus, it was very important for me to do my own workout, which would consist of running and lifting weights. So like I said, I've been doing that for like 30 years. This past year now, things have changed for the better, and I've changed my workout routine. Now I still run every single day. I teach classes, I guess you could call it like a boot camp class where we do cardio and resistant training. So I do on my own, I still do running and resistant training on my own. So I'm very dedicated. I work out every day for an hour, sometimes 2 hours per day, depending on if I have classes or not.
Okay, so for those of you who are listening in, Amy is and has been for many years an avid fitness enthusiast, teacher, trainer. She works out. She works out like a lot of people work out all the time. Okay, and if we were to go back 20, 25 years ago, Amy would be like a lot of the fitness people today that are constantly on showing their workouts, social media type stuff, posting their figure. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you would have done all that, but the world that we live in today, people show their workouts. And
Yes.
a lot of these people influence people based on what they suggest, because people see them in the gym working out all the time and really going for it. So they really are influencers. People like you truly are influencers, right? So that being said, what we want to share with everybody is the importance of this thing called that ties into or framed around inflammation in the human body. And there is a ratio that goes with this called omega-6 to omega-3. And it provides insight into where a person is with a big part of their health. It's not everything, but it's a big part of it.
Right.
And the ratios are these numbers. And ideally, you want the numbers to be like a 3 to 1. So that first number 3 tells us everything, because the number 1 stays the same all the time. So if it's 3 or anything under 3, when you get your test results, we're going to talk about that, then that tells you that you're in what we call the safe zone. So if it was 2.5, that's less than 3. That's a winner.
That's a win.
If it's 1.6, that's a winner. Anything above 3, that first number, is not a winner. And you want to do something about it, because that means you're living out of balance. And out of balance often means you're living with low-grade chronic inflammation. So you could be working out all day. You could be hitting the weights. You go to eat at a restaurant, people look at you and they go, man, she's fit. Or they look at that guy and they go, boy, look at him. And some of you guys have kids that work out and they look amazing. You see people posting on Facebook, man, their body looks amazing, but they have no idea what their ratios are. So what you look like does not prove to be a photo of what your health is like.
Absolutely.
So I just want to take a minute just to help the people get an idea of where we're going with this, because many of you are not aware of this. You're not. Your doctor has not shared this with you. Your doctor's not even aware of it. The nurse that you are friends with, she's not even aware of it. How do I know this? Because I've been in this game for 30 years. I'm a clinical nutritionist. I work with doctors. I work with nurses. I work with big companies. I am on various boards. I'm telling you what I know. Trust me. Tag your friends and say, hey, is he telling the truth? And they're going to be like, yeah, I don't know that. They don't. Even your average dietitian, registered dietitian, does not know what we're talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's not being mean. I have to establish so that people understand that this is new and that they're hearing it from a woman who lives in a town with less than 3,000 population.
Thanks, Robert.
I mean, because that's a compliment.
It is. It is.
You live in a city where less than 3,000 people live. And if you have somebody who's from LA, Hollywood, or somebody from like New York, and they supposed to be on top of the world and know everything, but I would put you up against all of those nutritionists and fitness people because they don't know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay. And my last part, you guys, and then we're going to dive in, is I believe those of you who are in the fitness world, those of you who do care about fitness, those of you who do work out a lot, will appreciate this conversation. Because like Amy, like myself, when you discover what we're sharing right now, you are going to be all over it in a good way. Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so Amy works out, and what happened is Amy gets this test called the balance test. You can do it in the privacy of your home. And go ahead, Amy, and tell us what happened. You get the test and walk us through.
Yeah, I would. And then I would love to share my story.
And then when your results came in, go.
Okay. So Robert had contacted me and was telling me about this fabulous product. And I am not going to lie, I was very hesitant, as you know, Robert, correct? I thought about it, not for a long period of time. And I'll tell you why, is Robert has been my mentor for, like I said, 17 years. So we have built a relationship, trust, and I trust Robert fully on things that he tells me, things that he shares with me. And so I decided to purchase the product. So I receive it in the mail and I do my blood test, which is just a small prick of the finger. and you fill 2 circles with blood. It's honestly not a big deal. And I sent it in and I started taking the product, Balance Oil, and about 3 weeks, it takes about 3 weeks to get your results back. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fine. It'll be fine. And I got my results back. And as Robert said prior, we want our ratio to be 3 to 1 or less, that first number less. And I was like, well, I've definitely got this licked. I work out. I eat healthy. People here in my nice little town, people that are close to me know that. And when I got my results back, I was absolutely shocked. And I think I probably dropped a few tears. I got teary-eyed, and I knew that I had to do this very important step, which was to contact Robert. And I did not want to make that phone call, and because I was embarrassed. And Robert, I called him, and he's like, yep. Like, it was really, I think you expected it, right, Robert? And in a way, you kind of knew that I was going to be out of balance, and I was. And I will say I will tell everybody my numbers. I was 35 to 1. And I was totally shocked. As we said, as we've been stressing, we should be 3 to 1. So as a fitness trainer, a nutritionist, person that follows what I preach, what I coach, and I was 35 to 1. And yeah, it was shocking.
Okay, so just to recap what Amy just shared with you guys and all of you fitness buffs out there. Okay, she works out, you're hitting the weights, you're doing everything right. You look in the mirror, you go, I'm looking good, I feel good. And then you get this little test, and you send in the test, and you're gonna feel pretty good about it. You're like, I eat healthy, I know I mean, I take care of myself. I mean, that's important to me. And then the numbers come back, and most people who work out a lot, most people who look really fit, their numbers are often worse than someone who may look like they could lose 50 pounds. And so one of the first things that happens when you go, okay, we want my number to be 3 or less, that first number. And what was yours again, Amy?
35.
And hers is 35. 35 is way higher than 3. And when you get the test, is everything's in the red. So that probably kind of made you go, huh?
It did. It did.
And then, you know, Amy's someone who, like many of you, you see that, you go, okay, wait a minute. What am I doing wrong here? Like, all right, what do I got to fix? Like, why is my numbers worse than someone that I know that's 25 pounds heavier than me? Right? It doesn't really make sense, right?
Right.
Okay. And let me remind everybody that in my life, like I noticed by the time you hit 50, you've experienced enough life where you watch people die that surprises you. You hear stories about people that, you know, get blood clots, stroke, heart attack. You go, what? They work out all the time. Man, they look amazing. That just shows you can eat the best foods in the world and you can still get sick. What? I just heard someone got the C word, some type of cancer. She got breast cancer. She works out all the time. She's always eating salads. Well, here's the hardcore truth. Health is not indicative of what you look like. And so what Amy and I are aware of, and what most people aren't, is that cellular health is very important. And we're not going to go into great detail on it. You can come to some of our meetings and talks that we do on it. But we're going to talk about why someone who works out like Amy, and by the way, you guys, she's had many tests. She's no longer that high number. And we'll get to that too. Right? It's not like you have a bad number and it stays bad. We can talk about how she improved it. But why is it that people who work out all the time, they tend to have numbers that aren't good? And this is the reason why. When you exercise, okay, I want you to slow me down. If you need me to say it, Amy, just help me, pull me back, okay?
Okay.
When you exercise, especially when it's high intensity, someone who like Amy, they're running stadiums, they're doing weights. I mean, she works out, right? Your muscles require more oxygen because you're working out a lot. So let's say you're a professional football player. You run sprints. You go to boot camps. You're working those muscles, and those muscles are yelling and screaming for oxygen. Now, if you didn't know this, oxygen is delivered throughout the body by red blood cells. So that's important to know, right? And that's why oftentimes you'll hear people say, drink a lot of water if you work out a lot, because it's the water that helps those red blood cells get to their destination, to the muscles that are in need. Okay, that's just extra stuff, just to kind of bring clarity to it. Now, the higher your demand, meaning the higher your person works out, it produces this thing called reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species, ROS. Okay, so when you're working out, what gets produced is these things called ROS. ROS is another word for something called free radicals. And free radicals causes damage in the body. Free radicals can damage your cells, can speed up health issues. And I'm saying that exercise causes this. Also, eating seed oils, eating deep fried food, inhaling fumes like from gas can also cause free radicals. So free radicals creates damage. Okay, so I'm gonna pause there. Is everybody following us okay? I just want to make sure everybody.
I think you explained that very, very well.
Okay, so if everybody's following us okay. Let's see, I had some notes here. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Okay, so a little bit of this ROS that causes free radicals is okay. But too much can create this thing called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is not good. That damages the cells. It can weaken the membranes in the cells. And it can break down this thing called omega-3 fatty acids. So oxidative stress, which comes because of the ROS, can weaken the cells and can damage this thing called omega-3 fatty acid. It breaks it down. It interferes with the omega-3 doing the positive work that it does. And so someone like Amy, who would eat fish and she ate all this healthy stuff, the omega-3s that she did consume are not getting into the cell membrane because she works out all the time. The oxidative stress impairs the omega-3s because they're very fragile. They don't have any protection for the most part. And so they get either disrupted, get burned up, and they never get into the tissues and the cells where they can do all their help. So someone who works out, when you look at the blood work, they're going to show that they're not getting much omega-3s. So when Amy got her results, she was like, how am I like 36-1 when I work out all the time and I eat healthy? Yeah, but when you work out, your body produces more of the ROS. The ROS creates oxidative stress. The oxidative stress creates havoc on the omega-3s that you do have in your body. Therefore, your bodies and your cells don't get it. So you are living with insufficient levels of omega-3, and you need to supplement with omega-3s more than anybody because you work out a lot. Woo! I think I did it, everybody.
You did it. You did it. Yay.
Okay.
You explained it very well.
right? So so the word I would tell people if they want to remember it is reactive oxygen species, and then reactive oxygen species. Then the pathway is oxidative stress, and it's the oxidative stress that creates the damage on the omega-3s you do have. So in order for you to get in balance like Amy did, she went from 36 to 1, right?
35 to 1.
Sorry, 35 to 1. And your best number now is?
2 to 1.
She is now 2 to 1, everybody.
2 to 1.
Let me see if I can find like a little bit of I thought I had like some sound effects here. Let me see if she's 2 to 1.
Oh, yeah, you got to have sound effects, right?
There you go, everybody. I have. All right, actually, before we give, she started out at 35 to 1. 35 is not a good thing, everybody. So drum roll, everybody.
Oh, you're good.
And
2 to 1. 2 to 1.
Everybody. And here's the good news. Everybody could be 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now you may be
I do
thinking,
want to say, excuse me, Robert, I tested 5 times. And so I went from, and I'm actually proud of this. I really am. Not the 35 to 1. I was really embarrassed on that. But then getting the knowledge that you just shared with everybody, and now I'm sharing that with people, that definitely made me feel so much better. So I want people to know this. I went from 35 to 1 to 6.1 to 1. Then I went to 3.8 to 1. And then I think I tested too soon because I was so excited. 3.1 to 1. And then finally 2.1. And that took about a year to get there. And, taking the balance oil. So it does happen.
Well, the cool part, and this is for someone to understand, is that the longer you take it, the better your results get.
Right.
And this is also called test-based nutrition for those of you who are new to this, meaning you're taking a supplement, but you're taking the supplement where there's a test that proves that the supplement is doing what it says it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a third-party lab that does the testing, so there's no hanky-panky going on. Now, what does this mean? Well, with the numbers that Amy has, what I have, what many people in our circle are aware of, when you calm inflammation in the body, which is associated with a good omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, you reduce the risk of many chronic conditions.
Exactly.
That right there says everything.
And I'm going to jump in, Robert, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I want to clarify to people that are not aware, when Robert's saying omega-6, he's referring to seed oils. And if you look in your pantry, you look at labels. I am definitely a label reader, and that comes with, coaching with nutrition. Many of the foods that we eat, processed foods, you look in your pantry, like I said, you go to the grocery store, look at ingredients, you're going to see seed oils. And what seed oils do is cause major inflammation. So I just wanted to clarify that, Robert.
Yeah, they play a huge role in causing the body to be in an inflammatory state.
Correct.
And here's what's really scary is a lot of you very fit, healthy people that work out a lot who are out of balance, which we know you're out of balance because 99% of everybody in the United States, Canada, and Mexico are out of balance. You are. We know that. It's not our opinion. There's been major studies that have demonstrated that. And
it's a fact.
This is one of the things that I wish the new food pyramid addressed in a beneficial way.
Absolutely.
And I know we're going to talk a little bit about it, and they didn't. They did not. And I thought at least there's going to be a little bit more mention to it, but it wasn't. So, but I'm going to do a deep dive on that and we can get into that. But everyone who is a fitness person, okay, I'm encouraging you to like reach out to Amy, reach out to me, and learn more about this test and how you can influence people to become informed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may be thinking, and maybe we could end on this part, unless you want to talk about more things, Amy, around the test, but you don't just get in better balance by taking any fish oil. Like going to Walmart or going on Amazon, we've looked at 22 different products that are in the marketplace where people were taking these products regularly. And when we did their tests, they failed miserably,
Mm-hmm.
which proves, okay, I was talking to someone this morning and I was like, dude, can you hear my words? He was like, no, I hear. I said, no, you don't hear me. I said, there is a test that you can take that looks at not your blood, like your blood, like drawing blood right now, but it looks at your cell membrane, the blood, whole blood in your membrane. And we can tell you without question if the product you're taking is helping you get to the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio that makes sense, that you want to be at. I said, this is not like your opinion. This is not, I feel like it's working. We know for a fact it's working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what makes balance work is it has a proprietary blend of it. And remember, I said when oxidative stress is taking place and it creates damage to the omega-3s that you have in your body, well, polyphenols with the omega-3, which is in the balance oil, basically chaperones the omega-3s, protects them until they get to their destination, like getting into the cell membrane and getting into the tissues in your body. The other products out there that sell fish oils, number one, don't have the polyphenols. Most don't.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have this proprietary blend that we know works. How do we know it works? Over 1 million, almost 2 million people have been tested. We have the largest reported study in the history of collecting this type of data known to man that proves without question everything to what Amy and I are saying. Mm-hmm. You can get into balance with balanced oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very good, Robert. And I will just add to that for anybody, not just people in the fitness world, but anybody. But I would love to challenge people in the fitness world. If you do not believe what Robert and I are telling you, get a test. Just get a test and find out that you are out of balance. And once you get in balance, I've had people ask me multiple times, do you feel a difference? And I said, yes, I do. I feel so much better, mentally, physically. It's a product that definitely works, and I endorse it too. And I have total belief in the product that everybody should be on it.
It's not even a question.
No, not at all.
Yeah, everybody.
So I've shared with you multiple times, Robert, I have my grandson on it, and we've seen so many improvements on him that it's just amazing. It's phenomenal. So I highly recommend it, and I'm just very excited, very proud that I have been introduced to this product and making changes, helping people make changes in their health.
Well, Lori, who's on here catching the call, she posts pictures all the time about her rheumatoid arthritis. Mm-hmm. And I have private clients that I coach. One, Debbie, I don't know if she's catching this live, but Debbie was on quite a few medications. Methotrexate, I think, is one of them. She's off all of that. And the only thing that she's changed in her life, because I'm not saying that that this is going to happen for everybody. So we're not saying that at all. But what we do know is that and being her nutritionist, what we know based on her labs, the only thing that she had changed from when she was on these things and when they detected rheumatoid arthritis, when her C-reactive protein was above 10, which is now under 3, she's off the meds. There's no sign of rheumatoid arthritis. The only thing that changed in her life is she started taking the balance oil.
And that's the only change.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because I had coached her for a while. She lost a lot of weight. She went from 253 pounds to 140.
Congratulations.
So, which proves that just because you lose weight doesn't mean you improve your health.
Right.
So weight loss and being lean is not indicative that you automatically are healthy.
And I think a lot of people fall into that where they do believe that they've lost weight and that they're now healthy, but they're not looking at the cellular level.
Exactly.
And like you said, most doctors, you go into a doctor's office and they are not checking for this. So
no, they're not. They need it. And I see them getting it all the time. So that being said, any questions out there, you guys? Amy and I will have a little bit of a conversation about the new pyramid. I don't know how much have you read into any of it or watched it on the news, Amy?
I've read some, not a whole lot. I was just more excited just to see that changes are being made. I do have a question for you. Are you being optimistic that they will will at least consider the omega-3s?
No, I don't see that happening.
You don't see that happening?
No, because I mean, they're going to encourage you to eat more fish and maybe, and I'm not done. I'm finishing. I got like 5 more pages of stuff I'm reading, and maybe I haven't got to that part yet, but I haven't seen that.
Okay.
And that again would be very difficult. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going? The world is not ready yet. I mean, we're less than a lot of people. They don't know what we're talking. This is not the average person does not know this. If Dr. Oz was on here with us right now, he would say, yes, omega-3s are important. He would say, yes, eat fish twice a week, blah, blah, blah.
And that's it.
He doesn't know about the tests. He is not aware of all of the things that are directly linked as far as health concerns is linked to when you're out of balance of omega-6 to 3. Like, he just has no clue. And he's way up there and major celebrity, reads books, and he's a cardiologist. So he doesn't even know.
And he doesn't know.
No. But I can tell you this, if he was on the call, as I would explain it and you would share with him, he would be in full agreement and be like blown away and be the first one. I bet you he would raise his hand and he would get the test. 100%.
It'd be foolish not to.
Yes.
I mean,
anybody would.
Right. How can you say no to the information that you had just gave everybody? So let me rephrase it then.
How do you say no?
Right. Okay. So then what's your opinion? Do you think that they will, with the new pyramid, talk less about the omega-6s?
I mean, they've already made, okay. So here's
changes on that.
They're already addressing that by telling people to eat less processed foods. Right. So if you look at the old pyramid, there was a big push on eating everything from crackers in the store to anything that's processed.
Right.
Right. There was no reduce that. They did encourage people to eat a little bit more protein, which should have been done forever ago. The science is clear on that. But here's the thing that I can share with everybody that most people just aren't aware of. Right? Because if you're at home right now and you're like, okay, they flipped the pyramid upside down, what does that mean to you? To the average person, that don't mean anything, because I didn't eat my food every day based on the food pyramid. I don't think anyone that we know goes to the government website when they're making dinner and look at what the pyramid says to do.
No.
Right? So so how does that really pertain to us? And that's the part that most people just don't know. And I'll share that right now. So when you have, because I've had to live this and I still live this, when I do work with a government agency, Medicaid, Medicare, if I'm doing anything nutrition, right? So when I did my first big study with Aetna in 2014, it was with the Medicaid population. Well, Medicaid population, a lot of them, those people that we were working with, they were getting food subsidized by the government, right? And so everything that we did and all the things that we recommended to the people had to fit and be in compliance with the U.S. dietary guidelines. Because Medicaid, that's institutionalized programming.
Right.
So why I'm excited for what they're doing, right, by flipping it upside down, and this is where a lot of people are just ignorant. They have no clue about this, and they may be the ones that benefit from it. When you go to a hospital and they serve you that lunch, I've heard many people go, man, the food at the hospital is horrible. Well, that was based on the old pyramid, because the hospital has to follow the
Those guidelines.
guidelines of what the food pyramid says.
Right.
So there's processed food in the hospital. So now they flipped it upside down. The hospital is going to have to serve more whole foods. That right there changes the game. Think about it. You're in the hospital. Yeah. So now the hospital food is going to be healthier. Let's just I think everybody would agree, Amy, that eating processed food is not ideal for better health. Everybody would agree with that.
I would sure hope so.
Yeah, you're Democrat people, you're liberals, you're conservatives, you're Republicans, you're independents. I don't think anyone would be like against that. Everybody would be like, yeah, especially if you're in the hospital and you're sick. The last thing you want is jelly beans in the hospital.
Right.
Right. Now, what else would that impact? It would impact prisons. All the food being served in prisons is based on the food pyramid. Well, now they flipped it upside down, and people don't know this, but a lot of prisoners, yeah, you see a lot of them getting yoked and hitting the weights, but a lot of prisons don't have access to lift weights. And obesity levels and poor health is huge in prisons because the food is absolutely horrible. It's mostly processed food. Then assisted living.
That's where my mind was.
You know anybody assisted living?
Yes.
The older people that live in like a senior living and all that. Their food just got better. Then you look at the cafeterias. Their food just got better for the kids. Matter of fact, I was thinking about this before I went to bed last night. In the state of New York, okay, before they made this change, whole milk was not allowed to be served in schools.
What was it, 2%?
It had to be 2%.
2%.
Yep, or less, non-fat. Whole milk was illegal. It was illegal. A kid couldn't even bring, if they were going to like, what do you call it? Like kinder care or something like that.
Okay.
The parents, when they got instructions, they could not give their kid whole milk to take to school. It was illegal.
So they couldn't even take it to school on their own?
No, because it couldn't be on the premises.
Illegal.
Now it's up to the parent. You can give them whole milk. And here's what's interesting about whole milk. And I was saying this years ago. Kids who drink whole milk by far are leaner than kids who drink 2%, 1% non-fat. Whole milk is proven without question from a health standpoint, multiple studies, to be more beneficial for kids compared to reduced fat milk. And for you adult folks, who understand the word insulin, when you consume whole milk compared to like non-fat milk, the insulin response is completely different. 2% milk, insulin goes up 300+% more than whole milk.
Now I knew it went up, but 300%?
300%.
I did not know that.
300%.
Wow,
Whole
I
milk
did
is
not.
whole.
Right,
Whole
right.
milk is intact for those out there who are hearing this for the first time.
Yep.
The more processed anything is, the greater the insulin spike. And insulin is anabolic, meaning it causes a lot of problems when it's elevated regularly.
Wow.
So
yes, I knew the whole milk, but I did not know the 300%, and that is shocking.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they look at the pyramid, and one other thing, right? So you change it from an institutionalized standpoint, but places like Canada, Australia, UK, they all follow the United States U.S. dietary guidelines. It serves as a foundation to their moves. So that means we globally are making it a little bit better for everybody.
Now, yes, currently.
So
yeah, I'm excited for it. My mom is in assisted living, and I'm excited to see changes there.
Yeah. And the people in assisted living, their big surprise is they're going to start seeing over the next year more whole foods, less crackers, less cakes, less brownies. Now, some of them may complain about that.
Right. There's going to be that handful, but
yep.
just
And if
the overall health.
And if they're getting less processed, that means they're getting less seed oils. You know, it's like I did a post earlier, Amy, today. I was like, there's a part of me that thinks when it comes to nutrition, we would be healthier as a nation if we were a socialized country, more communist. We were like more of a communist country,
right?
Because then people don't get the opportunity to choose what's healthy. They only get the food that the government says they can eat.
Yep.
So,
and with the pyramid, where my mind went right away is, hopefully you'll agree with me on this one, but my opinion is I think we're going to start seeing changes in moods too, because I know when I eat unhealthy, like the holidays, I indulged, I enjoyed things, and mood wise, you don't feel as whole yourself. You feel more bloated and all that sugar and things. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the outlook, and I'm sure it's going to take time.
I'm with you. We should see a lot of those things improve. Now, Peggy asked a question: how can we share this if you're on Facebook? So for those of you on Facebook, go to my YouTube channel, and you can always share any conversation, any video that we have. You can share it from, right? You can copy, paste it. You could text it to somebody. So YouTube is much easier, right? So get in the habit and make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. Just hit the bell, hit it again, and you can click all, which means anytime we upload a video or anytime we go live, at least you'll be notified. Okay, so I had Steve posted something about his test. He says, I was 18-1 before I started the balance wheel. Didn't change anything and did a midway test. See, that's a sign of an entrepreneur right there, right? Like, because I've had some people, they didn't want to wait 4 months. They're like, I'm going to see where I'm at. And what's cool is that I've seen people's numbers improve dramatically in as little as 2 weeks. So after 2 months, he tested again. He's 4.6-1.
So I'm excited to hear what it's going to be in 4 months.
Yeah.
Guaranteed,
and the longer
it's going
you
to
take
be
it, the better it gets.
Absolutely. Guaranteed, he's going to be below that 3.
And I would ask Steve this and anyone else who's listening, and I'm asking you this because I know people who are big in the fitness industry, and I've attempted to share what we just talked about with them. And I don't know if it's because it's me that they put up walls and push back and aren't open, I don't know if it's just who they are, a lack of humility, not willing to learn that they didn't know something. I don't get why some people have that challenge. I've been on calls with different people, like with yourself, and there's a word. The word ignorance means you're unaware.
Mm-hmm.
Intelligence means you have the ability to learn. So I know these people have the ability to learn, and if I just shared it with them, they're no longer unaware. So what, Steve, because you're a smart man, and Amy, if you're aware and you have the ability to learn, and right, and that means becoming aware, do they need to become more aware? Like, what's stopping someone in fitness who cares or say they care about health? And when you see the facts from someone like a Dr. Simopoulos, who at 92 years old has proven everything, will never meet someone again, probably, who has the background, the proven credibility, the scientific support, the published and most cited person around the world. She says that all chronic health conditions, the base of it is inflammation, and that you can optimize inflammation by working hard to get in balance with your omega-6 to 3. Knowing all of that, Amy and Steve, why are some of the people we all know, still holding back and not jumping on board, even if it's just for themselves, Amy?
Well, I'd love to hear Steve's response if he's still there. And my response is, you tell me. I do not know. I have talked to people in the professional world. I have talked to athletes, and I've got nobody on board. I'm hoping sharing this live with my own results, because I care so much and I just want to help people. I'm hoping that this will wake people up. I don't know if they just truly believe that their product works. When you said, you had made the comment, I don't know if it's me. I kind of chuckled inside, because I feel the same way with me. Is it me? Is it because I'm a woman that I'm going to say men won't listen to me, won't take my opinion, take my advice? I don't know, but I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, because I love what I'm doing. I love helping people. I love seeing the results. So whoever wants to get on board and improve their life, Robert and I are here. So those that are, like you said, the ignorance, I understand, the lack of knowledge, but for as much as you and I are out there.
No, but I mean, but Amy, see, you're being kind. I'm saying that if you sit there and you
tell
show
people
a person step by step by step.
I know.
And some of these people, they have parents who now are living with dementia, and they don't understand that you can reduce the risk of dementia by being in balance with omega-6 to 3, because they don't understand, a lot of you fitness folks, right, that omega-3 is also in the brain, called DHA. And when they do autopsies and they look at these people who had dementia, Alzheimer's, they see in their brain that they did not have an adequate amount. They had insufficient, suboptimal amounts of DHA in the brain. And there's neuroscientists that say, if you want to reduce your risk of getting dementia, you want to make sure you have an adequate amount of omega-3 in your brain, called DHA. The good news is we can do a test and we can know, and you can reduce your risk by doing what all the scientists say. And these people still won't do it, Amy.
They still won't jump on board.
All right, let me see. Steve responded. He says, embarrassment and pride that they already are nailing it. They don't want to risk being embarrassed.
And
That's
I
what
would agree. Yeah, I would agree because I was embarrassed to give you my first results, 35-1. I was really embarrassed. So yeah, and I think that a lot of people in the fitness world do think that they know it all. And I guess I'm very glad to say, proud to say that I don't feel like I'm that type of person that I feel like I know it all. Um, so I would agree with Steve, embarrassment.
Okay. And that's why you hear me say humble, humility a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they're
Right.
not. And so here's what I've learned, Steve and Amy and Sandy and Lori. This is what I've learned. If you can get someone to listen to our live, that's an easy way to get them to kind of see the benefit. Because when you go to a live seminar or presentation, you sit down and you're paying attention. Now, we're hoping that they're paying attention. But the best way, and what I told myself yesterday, what I'm going to start doing, and I would encourage you to start thinking about this too, Amy, is I'm going to start doing some local meetings where I live. And I'm going to start looking at the calendar and start putting on some local events where we invite people out so we can do presentations. Because when you are in a presentation format, people put their guard down a little bit and they're willing to give you just being there, they're giving you the platform to present. And that means, like, right when you go to class to learn, you go to a seminar to learn, you go to church to learn, whoever's presenting, you're open to learning. That's why you're there. People who aren't open wouldn't go. So what happens is a lot of these people that are fitness people, they're not really open. So we got to figure out a way to get them to put their guard down and be receptive. And then their ego and pride and all of that can be removed. Because I've lived a big part of my professional life where I'm not invited to certain gatherings by fitness people because I make them feel insecure. Right? And that's just the reality. I'm invited by humble fitness people. And I'm humble, so I'll go learn from other people. But a lot of people aren't humble because they lack security. Mm-hmm. So that's my last words. Where do you want to go from here?
Well said. Well said.
Amen.
No, we covered a lot. So okay. Yeah, I'm excited for people to see this if they're not here live, and there's great information that you shared with us. So thank you very much.
All right, let me see. The Miguel just posted something. What do you mean by this, Miguel? Miguel says, my pastor says you can't fix. Oh, is that ATI?
That's what it looks like.
What does ATI mean? So what do you mean, Miguel? Okay.
Spell it out.
I'm going to call Miguel. Actually, I owe him a call. I've been on the phone all day, Miguel. I've been working. He says you cannot fix stupid. That's one way of saying it.
ATI.
Amen. ATI. All right, you guys. Anyway, thank you, Amy. I appreciate you. For those who want to contact Amy, reach out to her. Any last words, Amy, before we say goodbye?
No, just thank you, Robert, for all your knowledge sharing and being my mentor and my friend and taking the time to be with me this past hour. Thank you.
Remember,
very much.
Anytime you ask, we can always have a conversation.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone.
Make sure you like,
subscribe. And again, if you want to share this, go to the Facebook, the YouTube channel. You can copy, paste it, text it to people. Let your friends know. Let them check you out, Amy. You look good. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story. And Amy is available, everybody. You can reach out to her. She can tell you about the test, share with you her story, answer any questions that you have about it, and you can be on your way to reducing inflammation in your body.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I got it.
Thank you, Robert.
Happy Fat Loss Friday, everybody. Peace out.
In a world of diets, there's a new way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information, bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices to see you through. DFL